One of the top, most extreme sports in today's world is the UFC, an MMA sport that puts the crowd in a delirium, waiting for someone to get knocked out and enjoy in the fights that are organized and set long before they happen. The build-up, the suspense it brings with it, is just on a whole different level. And today, we will talk about one of the most unique fighters in the ring, and that man is Jon Jones. Biography. Jonathan Dwight Jones, born on the 19th of July, 1987 in Rochester, New York. He is professionally known as Jon Jones, and he is an American mixed martial artist who is currently signed with the Ultimate Fighting Championship, UFC. He is a two-time UFC Light Heavyweight Champion, as he won the undisputed championship once and interim championship once. He is the youngest to ever win this title with just 23 years old. He is also third in the UFC pound-for-pound rankings. He holds many records in the light heavyweight division, including the most successful and consecutive title defenses, the most wins, the most victories by submission, and the longest win streak. The record that he holds for most consecutive title defenses is 8 times in a row, held by him in the Light Heavyweight Championship. He was initially suspended for a year after United States Anti-Doping Agency USADA test was positive about male enhancement pills being taken by him. His UFC Light Heavyweight Championship was also stripped from him. And after this, he had another failed USADA drug test in 2017. This was a concern as he was facing a 4-year ban. However, there wasn't enough evidence that he was consuming the pills intentionally, and instead got a 15-month suspension. In his life, he was also involved in football as a professional lineman. He also showed a phenomenal skill in wrestling in his school days, and won the state championship at Union Endicott High School in upstate New York. He enrolled for college to pursue his degree in criminal justice. But then, his career of an MMA fighter started, and he dropped out of college and made his debut on the professional scene in April 2008 against Brad Bernard, a fight he won with a technical knockout. Childhood and family. From what we have researched, we can see that Jon had a rough childhood. He was born and raised in a middle-class family, and a very religious one at that. His father, Arthur Jones Jr., is a pastor at the Pentecostal Church in Endicott, and his mother, Camille Jones, is a nurse. There is no doubt about his roots. He is an Afro-American and follows Christianity as his religion. Jones has displayed his athletic potential since early age. He was a standout wrestler and the winner of the state championship at his high school. As his brothers, he was also interested in American football and played for some time during his school years as a defensive lineman. And because of his lanky frame, his coach began to call him Bones, a nickname he took with him, and later used it during his MMA career. At the Iowa Community College, he became the winner of the National JUCO Championship. And after that, he participated for the Morrisville State College to get his degree in criminal justice, but he unfortunately dropped out because of the start of his MMA career. Jon's parents were big on religion and made a living out of the religious business. His dad is an assisting pastor in the church, and his mom constantly providing help in the church were the main incomes for the family to get through in their lives. As we said, Jon comes from a lower-class family because of the business that his parents were in, and as we all know, it doesn't pay much. He has 3 siblings, Chandler Jones, Arthur Jones, and Carmen Jones. Unfortunately, his sister died of cancer when she was just 17 years old, a time in his life when Jon's mental health was very bad, but he managed to get through it. Jon and his fiancée Jessie Moses have 3 daughters, Leah, Carmen Nicole Jones, and Olivia Haven. They met in high school where they began dating, and it wasn't until 2013 when Jon proposed to her and officially made her his wife on an undisclosed date. Jon's house. Jon has bought a house back in 2011 in Ithaca, New York for $675,000. And because of his notable run-ins with law enforcement, has sold his home for $719,000. At the time, he would train in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and would return to his home in Ithaca from time to time. The 2-story home has 4 bedrooms, 3 full bathrooms, and 2 half bathrooms, and is approximately 4,400 square feet in area. One of the unique things about his home is that he used the basement of the house for training, a place equipped with lots and lots of equipment, everything that he needed to be successful, which he then took with him after he sold the house in 2017. One of the coolest features about his house are the surroundings, filled with natural flora spreading all over the outside of the house, and even cascading waterfalls behind the house that make it that much more beautiful. And as for now, there is little to none known about his household and where he lives, and what it looks like. Jon's career and awards. With the start and his debut in April 2008, Jon has since started his professional career. Before signing with the UFC, he won USKBA Light Heavyweight Championship, defeating Moses Gabin at BCX 5 via TKO in the second round. On April 12, 2008, in Boxborough, Massachusetts, Jon made his professional debut in an FFP, untamed 20 catch weight, 210 pounds, against Brad Bernard, and won the match in the first round via technical knockout. And later that month in Atlantic City, New Jersey, was his first light heavyweight fight as part of the Battle Cage Extreme 4 event. At the UFC, it was victory after victory for Jon, who fought through to become the youngest light heavyweight champion at age of 23, after defeating Mauricio Rua in 2011. Jon's first title-defending match was against his friend and teammate Rashad Evans at the UFC 133 on August 6, 2011. During the fight, he got an injury of his hand, which many consider that a surgery is mandatory. Instead, he opted for rest and rehabilitation, and later, the same year, he defended the title again from Quinton Jackson, and won by rear-end choke submission in the fourth round, the first one to submit Quinton. In 2013, the fight between him and Alexander Gustafsson was hyped for so long, and also the fight of the year in their category, a fight that Jon won. But frankly enough, both fighters were sent to the hospital after the fight. He was stripped of the belt and the title in 2015 for a hit-and-run incident, an incident which also handed him a 6-month suspension. He faces his second suspension for a year after USADA tested him positive in a drug test. And in 2017, he faced his third suspension after USADA confirmed his first test positive for Turnbull. And he again and again managed to get on his feet after so many suspensions in so little time, and his recently recaptured title in Light Heavyweight Championship was stripped yet again. Jones Cars. For a celebrity of his caliber, he is short on cars in his garage, owning lesser number of cars according to his competition in the ring. However, by the looks of it, we can see a clear and definitive style to which he stayed true. First on our list of Jones Cars is the 2012 Bentley Continental GT, which is worth around $190,000, a car he bought home after becoming the youngest champion in his division. Next, we have the Nissan Armada, a full-size SUV that has been started to be assembled in 2016 onwards in Canton, Mississippi, an off-roader that he loves to take on rocky and muddy trips with his family in the wilderness. And last but not least, he owns a Cadillac CTS-V, a sedan which is not widely known in the world, but a powerful one, a luxury sedan from the company that holds the same prices as its competitors. Jon's Interests. As for his interests, Jon has showed a huge fondness of his former president Barack Obama, a big fan of his works, visions, and ideas. With that being said, he hasn't expressed much about his fondness for Obama. He hasn't been spotted supporting Obama policies a lot either, but he did once mention that he was fed up with the gun laws in New York. Apparently, New York City has pretty strict rules for gun handling, and according to his tweets, Jones is not very happy about it. Thank you all for watching, and tell us which celebrity's lifestyle would you like to see a video for in the future. Make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more videos like this in the future.